Close your eyes for a second and imagine a world where pain doesn't last forever. No more hospital rooms. No more last goodbyes. No more nights crying alone. Just peace. Because deep inside every believer's heart, there's one promise we quietly hold on to. A promise bigger than fear, bigger than death, bigger than this world. The promise that one day Jesus comes back for his people. Not as a story, not as a symbol, but real. The sky doesn't just stay blue anymore. It changes. Clouds begin to glow like fire mixed with gold. The air feels different, warmer, lighter, like the whole earth just took a deep breath. People stop walking. Cars slow down. Birds go silent. And for the first time in history, the world feels completely still. Then, a sound. Soft at first, like a distant echo. Then stronger, clearer. A trumpet. Not made by man, but something heavenly, something eternal. It vibrates through the ground, through the buildings, through your chest. You don't just hear it, you feel it. And suddenly, every fear you ever carried starts melting away. That anxiety you fought for years, gone. That grief you buried deep inside, gone. All replaced with something you can't explain. Peace. Pure peace. A mother looks up from her prayer. A tired worker drops his tools. An old man in a hospital bed slowly smiles. They all feel it, like someone calling their name without words, like home calling them back. The clouds begin to open, not breaking apart, opening like curtains, and behind them, light, brighter than the sun, but gentle to the eyes, beautiful, alive. And in that light, figures begin to appear, not falling, not flying like birds, rising. People, ordinary people, teachers, children, grandparents, strangers from every nation, floating upward, weightless, no struggle, no fear, just joy. Some laugh, some cry, some whisper, "Thank you, Jesus." Families grab each other's hands, friends hug tighter than ever before, because somehow everyone understands this is it. This is the promise. This is what they prayed for their whole lives. Then, through the center of that light, someone steps forward, radiant, glorious, wounds shining like stars in his hands, eyes filled with love deeper than the ocean. Not anger, not judgment, love. The kind of love that knows every mistake you ever made and still chooses you. Jesus, not distant, not untouchable, right there. Arms open, like a father welcoming children home. And the closer people rise toward him, the lighter they feel. Years of burden disappear. Guilt disappears. Regret disappears. It's like gravity itself has lost its power, because heaven is stronger than earth. The world below watches in shock, but the ones rising, they're smiling, because this isn't an escape, it's a reunion. The reunion they've waited for their whole lives. The moment faith finally becomes sight. And as the sky keeps glowing brighter, more names are being called, more hearts responding, more souls lifting gently from the ground, like the entire earth is slowly breathing upward toward that endless golden light, toward that voice,
toward those open arms, and the air itself begins to shimmer with something holy, something alive, something that feels closer and closer with every second.
Closer and closer with every second. The light keeps spreading across the sky like sunrise that never stops. Gold, white, soft waves of brilliance rolling through the clouds. And something strange begins to happen inside every believer's heart. Not fear, not confusion, recognition. Like hearing a voice you've known since childhood, like finally remembering a song you forgot years ago. Because this moment, it doesn't feel new. It feels familiar, like your soul has been waiting for this since the beginning of time. A young woman drops to her knees, tears running down her face. She isn't scared. She's smiling, whispering, "You came. You really came." A little boy looks up at the sky and laughs, reaching his hands up like a child running toward his father. An old pastor who preached for 40 years quietly closes his Bible, holds it to his chest, and breathes out, like all his work is finally complete. Across cities, across villages, across oceans, hearts are waking up. People who prayed every night, people who held on to faith when life broke them, people who were mocked for believing. Now they're the ones glowing. It's like an invisible thread is gently pulling them upward, soft, tender. Like gravity has reversed. Feet lift off the ground, shoes remain, bags fall, phones drop. But nobody cares, because nothing here matters anymore. All the things the world said were important, money, status, fame, stress, deadlines, they suddenly feel so small, like dust in the wind. And the only thing that feels real is Him, that presence, that warmth, that love pouring down from the sky. It wraps around them like sunlight after the longest winter. Some people look at their hands as they rise. The wrinkles begin to fade. Pain disappears from their joints. Scars slowly vanish. Bodies once tired, now strong. Backs once bent, now straight. Eyes once weak, now shining. It's not just rescue, it's restoration. Complete, beautiful, perfect. A grandmother who couldn't walk for years suddenly stands tall in midair, laughing like a child. A man who carried depression his whole life feels it break off him like chains snapping. A woman who lost her family finally feels whole again. Every tear they ever cried feels remembered. Every prayer they ever whispered feels answered. And above them, the sky opens wider. The light gets closer, warmer, almost like heaven itself is leaning down to meet them halfway. Angels move through the clouds like streaks of fire and silk, not terrifying, peaceful, guarding, guiding, welcoming. Their voices sound like wind chimes mixed with thunder, soft but powerful, singing something ancient and beautiful. A song that doesn't need translation, a song every heart somehow understands. Below, the earth feels quieter, still, like time itself has slowed down. Clocks tick softer, wind moves slower, everything holding its breath, because something eternal is happening, something prophets talked about, something written in scripture, something generations hoped for but never saw. And now, it's unfolding right here, right now. The distance between heaven and earth keeps shrinking. The glow reflects in windows, rivers, eyes. And in that light, every fear looks smaller, every doubt weaker, every question less important. Because when you finally see Him, you don't need answers anymore. You just need to be close, closer. Closer. Arms stretching upward, hearts racing with joy. Some are laughing,
Some are crying, some just whispering, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And the sound of that trumpet echoes again, deeper this time, stronger, rolling across mountains and oceans like a royal announcement, calling, gathering, drawing more and more souls upward as the clouds continue to part, as the brightness keeps growing, as the space between earth and heaven almost disappears, and the warmth of his presence feels so near now, so real, like you could almost reach out and touch that light, like the next breath might carry you straight into it.
Like the next breath might carry you straight into it. The air itself feels different now, lighter, almost alive, like every molecule is vibrating with something holy. People look around, confused at first, then amazed. Gravity doesn't feel heavy anymore. It feels optional. A man drops his keys, but they fall in slow motion, like the world forgot how to pull things down. Leaves float upward instead of drifting to the ground. Dust rises like tiny stars, and the light above keeps calling. Not with words, but with love. The kind of love that doesn't force you, it simply invites you. Come home. Come rest. Come where pain can't follow. Across the world, in hospital rooms, machines keep beeping, but something changes. A woman who hasn't opened her eyes in years suddenly smiles. Her fingers twitch. Her heart monitor steadies. Then silence, peaceful silence, as she rises gently from the bed like morning mist. No tubes, no suffering, just peace. In crowded streets, cars sit abandoned. Coffee cups spill. News reporters stare at the sky mid-sentence. Phones buzz endlessly on the pavement, but those who feel that pull don't even look back. They don't hesitate, because when eternity calls, nothing temporary can compete. A construction worker wipes sweat from his face, squints at the sky, and whispers, "It's really you." Then he's lifted slowly, boots dangling. A little girl lets go of her bicycle and stretches both arms up, laughing like it's the best game she's ever played. Two strangers lock eyes in the air and smile like family. No language needed. Everyone understands. This is it. This is the promise, the one they heard about in church, the one people doubted, the one the world mocked. And yet here it is, more real than the ground beneath their feet. Clouds begin to swirl like doors opening. Golden currents move like rivers in the sky, and through that brightness, shapes appear. Not shadows, not illusions, but figures, radiant, clothed in light, moving with purpose. Angels, countless. Their wings reflect colors no human eye has ever seen. Every flap sends waves of peace through the air. Not chaos, not panic, just calm, like the entire universe is finally aligned. Music fills the atmosphere, not coming from anywhere, yet everywhere. Deep notes like thunder, high tones like crystal bells. It vibrates through the chest, through the bones, through the soul. Some people start singing without realizing it. Words they've never learned just pour out naturally, and language older than time. And in the middle of it all, he stands, brighter than the sun, but gentle to look at, powerful, but tender, majestic, but welcoming. Scars still visible on his hands, glowing like reminders of love that paid the highest price. And when his eyes meet theirs, everything else disappears. No guilt, no shame, no past mistakes,
just acceptance, just belonging, like finally stepping into the place you were meant to be your whole life. Some fall to their knees mid-air, some reach out, trembling, some just cry uncontrollably, because for the first time ever, faith isn't faith anymore. It's sight, it's reality, it's standing right there, closer than breath. And as more people rise, the earth below grows quieter, emptier, like a stage after the final scene, while above, the light keeps expanding, wider, deeper, stronger, pulling everyone closer together, closer to Him, closer to that endless horizon of gold and white, where the boundary between heaven and sky completely dissolves, and the warmth keeps increasing, and the music keeps building, and the moment keeps stretching like eternity itself, as if the very next second will reveal something even greater just beyond that light.
Just beyond that light. The brightness doesn't blind them, it comforts them, like stepping into sunlight after a lifetime of cold. Warmth wraps around every soul like a blanket. Not heat, not fire, but something alive, something that feels like home. Their bodies feel lighter now, not just physically, emotionally, spiritually. Every fear they ever carried, gone. Every regret dissolving like mist. It's strange. No one even remembers what anxiety felt like. No one remembers pain, as if those things never existed at all. A young man looks down at his hands. The scars that once covered his skin are gone. Perfect. New. He flexes his fingers, stunned. An old woman who walked with a cane for decades slowly straightens her back, her spine strong, her legs steady. She laughs, a deep, joyful laugh she hasn't made since childhood, and takes a step forward in mid-air like she's walking on invisible ground. Others notice too, blind eyes opening, wrinkles fading, tired faces glowing. Not changed into someone else, but restored into who they were always meant to be. Whole, complete, free. Below them, the earth looks smaller now. Cities like tiny models, mountains like wrinkles on fabric. Everything that once felt so big, so stressful, so permanent, now looks temporary, fragile, like sandcastles after the tide pulls back. And suddenly they understand. All those late nights worrying, all those fights over money, all those endless chases for status, fame, approval. So small, so fleeting. It almost feels silly now, because up here, none of it matters. Only love matters. Only faith matters. Only Him matters. The angels move among them like guardians. Some gently guide the confused, some comfort the crying, some smile like proud older brothers welcoming family home. Their wings create soft winds that carry whispers of peace. No one feels alone, not even for a second. A father who lost his son years ago suddenly freezes. Someone is running toward him, fast, laughing, calling, "Dad!" The voice hasn't changed, still young, still bright. He turns, and there he is, exactly the same. No sickness, no hospital tubes, just pure life. They collide into each other, hugging so tight it feels like they'll never let go. Nearby, friends separated by decades reunite. Grandparents meet grandchildren they never got to hold. Tears fall, but not sad tears, the kind that come when joy is too big for the body, the kind that shake your whole chest. And through it all, that music keeps rising, stronger now, like a chorus of millions, every heartbeat syncing with it, every step matching its rhythm. It's not just sound anymore, it's movement, like the universe itself is breathing. Then something shifts. The clouds ahead part wider, not breaking, opening, like gates made of light. Beyond them, something vast, endless, not just sky, not just space, but a kingdom. Colors no human language could describe, gold that looks alive, rivers that shimmer like liquid crystal, mountains glowing softly as if lit from within, structures in the distance beautiful, radiant, almost like a city made of light itself. And the closer they drift, the stronger that feeling becomes, belonging, like every step forward answers a question they didn't even know they had. Some reach out their hands, not because they're scared, but because they're overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by beauty, by peace, by love so deep it feels heavier than gravity ever was. And at the center of it all, he moves forward again, every step creating ripples in the air, every motion commanding the stars themselves, not as a king demanding fear, but as a shepherd gathering his flock. His voice doesn't shout, it doesn't need to. When he speaks, it echoes inside their souls, gentle, certain, calling each one by name, not a single name forgotten, not a single story missed, as if he memorized every tear they ever cried, every prayer whispered at 2 a.m., every moment they almost gave up but didn't. And hearing their name from him breaks something inside them in the most beautiful way, because now they know they were always seen, always known, always loved. The light keeps widening, the music keeps building, the air keeps shimmering like living glass, and the space between heaven and earth grows thinner, thinner, until it almost feels like the two worlds are touching, like the next step forward will finally cross completely into something eternal.
Eternal. The air changes first. Not thicker, not heavier, but deeper. Like every breath now carries meaning. Like the air itself is alive. They inhale, and it feels like strength. Like peace entering their lungs, like every weakness they ever knew has been permanently erased. No one feels tired anymore. No one feels afraid. It's impossible to even remember what fear used to feel like. Below, thunder rolls across the earth one last time. Storms, sirens, chaos. But it sounds distant now, like an old memory fading away. Up here, there is only calm, only light, only him. The clouds continue opening wider, folding back like curtains pulled by invisible hands. The glow ahead isn't just light anymore. It has texture, movement, like golden waves flowing across the sky. Each wave carries sparks, tiny fragments of brilliance, drifting around them like fireflies made of stars. When those sparks touch someone, they laugh because it feels warm, comforting, like being hugged by the universe. A young girl reaches out to catch one. It lands on her palm and melts into her skin. Instantly, her face shines brighter, not glowing like a bulb, but glowing like joy itself. And others begin to notice their bodies aren't just healed, they're transformed. Clothes no longer look heavy or earthly. Everything looks lighter, radiant, like they're wearing light itself. No weight, no burden, nothing holding them back. Movement becomes effortless. They don't walk anymore, they glide. Some spin slowly, amazed, like kids discovering they can float in water for the first time. One man laughs and says, "I feel free."
And that word spreads. Free. Free from bills, free from sickness, free from guilt, free from time. Time, that strange ticking pressure that chased them their whole lives, is gone. There's no rush, no clocks, no deadlines. Only now. Only this endless, perfect moment. Ahead, the angels begin forming rows, not stiff, not formal, but welcoming, like family lining up to greet loved ones after a long journey. Their wings shimmer with soft gold and silver, feathers catching the light like glass. Some hold instruments that don't exist on earth, strings made of light, horns that sound like wind through mountains. Every note blends into that same heavenly melody that's been building since the first second they rose. And then, the gates come into full view. Massive, beyond imagination, not made of metal or stone, but something living, crystal mixed with fire, solid yet glowing from within. Patterns move across them like flowing rivers, names carved in light, stories etched into their surface. History, faith, sacrifice, love. Every generation that ever believed, remembered here. The gates slowly begin to open, not with noise, but with a deep vibration that travels through their hearts. Boom, 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 like the heartbeat of eternity itself. And with every pulse, more light spills out, stronger, brighter, warmer. Some people shield their eyes, not because it hurts, but because it's overwhelming, too beautiful, too pure, the kind of beauty that makes you cry without knowing why. A man drops to his knees mid-air, not forced, just overcome, hands shaking, whispering, "Thank you, thank you." Others follow, some crying, some smiling, some just staring in complete awe, because everything they ever hoped for, everything they ever prayed about, every Sunday sermon, every quiet midnight prayer, it was all real, all true. Nothing wasted, not a single tear unnoticed. And right then, a sound cuts through everything, soft at first, then stronger. A voice, not loud, but everywhere at once. Not coming from one direction, but from inside them, around them, through them. Calling, calling gently, like a shepherd counting every sheep, like a father calling children home for dinner. Personal, close. Each person hears it differently, but everyone knows exactly who it is. And when that voice says their name, something inside their chest unlocks. Memories rush back, every moment he protected them when they didn't even realize it. Every accident they barely escaped, every prayer that was secretly answered, every time they thought they were alone, but weren't. And suddenly they understand he was always there, every second, walking beside them, even when they couldn't see him. The light keeps pouring out, the gates opening wider, the music rising higher, the angels stepping aside, making space, inviting them forward. And slowly, like a tide being pulled by the moon, the entire crowd begins moving together, closer, closer, toward that brilliance, toward that presence, toward something so eternal it feels bigger than the universe itself. And just as their feet, or whatever they are now, cross the edge of that glowing threshold,
Everything slows again. Not because time returns, but because awareness deepens. As they move forward, the light doesn't rush them. It waits, patient, like it has all eternity. Each step feels intentional, as if the path itself recognizes them, knows them. Underneath, the surface isn't ground, not exactly. It feels like standing on peace, solid, yet gentle. Every movement leaves no mark, no sound, just presence. Around them, the kingdom breathes. Structures glow softly, not sharp or overwhelming, but warm, like lanterns lit from the inside. Rivers of light flow calmly beside the path, reflecting faces as they pass. But the reflections don't show age. They don't show flaws. They show essence, who they truly are. Some stop when they see it, hands to their chest, eyes wide, because for the first time they recognize themselves completely. Not the version shaped by pain, not the version shaped by survival, but the version shaped by love. Ahead, the space opens wider, so wide it feels endless, like the sky learned how to expand again. Angels move effortlessly around them, guiding without touching, smiling without speaking. Their presence feels reassuring, like nothing here can ever go wrong, ever again. A soft breeze moves through the crowd. It carries voices, laughter, familiar. Someone hears a name spoken gently behind them. They turn, and there they are. Someone they lost long ago. Not faded, not distant, real, closer than memory ever allowed. They lock eyes, and no words are needed. Everything that was left unsaid on earth is already understood here. They step closer, hands touching, and the moment they connect, a wave of warmth passes through both of them, like a confirmation. Yes, you made it. You're home. All around, reunions continue quietly. No chaos, no shouting, just deep, overwhelming recognition. Love reconnecting with love. The music never stops, but it changes, subtly. It grows richer, deeper, like another layer has been added, as if the kingdom itself is responding to their arrival. Every step forward feels like a welcome. Then, far ahead, movement, a gathering, a focal point where the light is strongest, not blinding, but commanding, not demanding attention, yet impassable to ignore. Everyone feels it, the pull, the anticipation, like standing on the edge of something sacred, something important. People instinctively slow down, not from fear, from reverence. The air hums now, not loud, but powerful, like energy flowing through everything. Their hearts, if hearts even exist like before, begin to beat in sync, not fast, steady, strong, unified. And suddenly, they understand something without being told. This isn't just arrival. This is preparation. Preparation for something greater, something meaningful, something that has been planned since before time had a name. Angels form gentle arcs around the gathering, not barriers, boundaries of honor. The light ahead pulses once, then again, each pulse sending waves through the crowd. With each wave, understanding grows. Purpose becomes clearer. They weren't just saved from something, they were saved for something. And that realization settles deep, not heavy, empowering, like destiny finally revealing itself. The presence at the center moves again, not rushing, never rushing. Every motion carries authority without force, love without condition. As he steps forward, the light shifts around him, bowing,
responding. And when his eyes move across the gathering, it feels personal, as if he's looking directly at each one at the same time, seeing every journey, every sacrifice, every moment of faith that went unseen on earth. Some feel their knees weaken. Others feel strength surge through them. Different reactions, same awe. The music quiets slightly, not stopping, just making space for what's about to be spoken, for what's about to be revealed, for something that feels like the beginning of an entirely new chapter, one that doesn't erase what came before, but transforms it into something eternal. And as the light grows steadier, and the atmosphere grows still, and every soul leans forward without realizing it, the moment stretches, holding its breath, waiting for what comes next.
Waiting for what comes next. Silence settles. Not empty silence, not awkward, but full, heavy with meaning, like the air right before rain touches the earth. Every soul stands still without being told to. No one speaks, no one moves, yet no one feels nervous. It's the calm you feel when you finally know you're safe, completely safe. The light around them steadies into a soft gold glow, like sunrise stretched across forever. It brushes against their skin like silk, warm, alive, comforting. If peace had a temperature, this would be it. Some people close their eyes just to feel it more deeply. Others look around slowly, afraid to miss even a single detail, because everything here feels important. Every color richer, every sound clearer. Even the space between breaths feels sacred. The rivers of light nearby continue flowing, but now they hum gently, like they're singing to themselves. Tiny sparks drift upward from the surface, rising like prayers. And when those sparks pass through someone, memories bloom. Not painful ones, beautiful ones. A mother suddenly remembers the first time her child laughed. A boy remembers his father teaching him how to ride a bike. An old man remembers kneeling beside his bed at night, whispering a small, shaky prayer. Moments they forgot, moments they thought didn't matter. Yet here they shine brighter than anything, because those were the real treasures. Not money, not fame, not titles. Love. Simple love. That's what lasted. That's what followed them here. A gentle wind moves through again, carrying a faint scent, like fresh rain and wildflowers. The kind of smell that makes you feel like you're 8 years old again, running through an open field with nothing to worry about. People breathe it in deeply and laugh, softly, like kids rediscovering joy. Their steps begin moving forward again, slow and natural, like they're being carried by an invisible current. No pushing, no effort, just drawn, closer to the center, closer to him. The glow around his presence grows stronger with every step they take. Not sharp, not blinding, just pure, like truth itself made visible. Angels bow their heads slightly as they pass, not worshiping the people, but honoring the journey they survived, honoring the faith they held on to when life got dark. One angel smiles at a woman who once cried herself to sleep for years. That smile alone heals something inside her she didn't even know was still broken. Another gently places a hand over a man's shoulder. And in that instant, Decades of guilt disappear, like they never existed. No judgment here, no reminders of mistakes. Only restoration, only grace. The ground beneath them begins to shimmer faintly, forming patterns of light that ripple outward with each step. Almost like the kingdom is responding to their presence, recognizing them, welcoming them. Far ahead, shapes begin to form more clearly now. Not just light, not just structures. Homes, gardens, paths lined with trees that glow softly at the edges. Leaves like tiny lanterns. Waterfalls flowing upward instead of down. Everything alive. Everything singing quietly with the same melody woven into the air. It doesn't feel foreign. It feels familiar. Like a place they've seen in dreams their whole life, but forgot when they woke up. A strange thought crosses many minds at once. I've been here before. Not physically, but spiritually. Like their soul remembers this place. Like this was always the real home, and Earth was only the journey. A child runs ahead, laughing, arms stretched wide. No one stops him, because nothing here is dangerous. Nothing here can hurt anyone ever again. His laughter echoes like bells, pure, untouched, and others start smiling just hearing it. That's how powerful joy is here. Contagious, effortless. Then the music shifts again. Deeper, richer, more voices joining. Thousands, millions. Not separate notes, but one giant harmony. And somehow everyone realizes they're part of it. Their own voices blending into the sound without even trying. Breathing becomes music. Movement becomes rhythm. Existence itself becomes worship. Not forced, not commanded, just natural. Like the only possible response to this much love. The presence ahead grows closer now. Details becoming clearer. The outline of his form. The way the light bends gently around him. The way everything seems to lean toward him, like flowers turning toward the sun. Every step makes hearts feel fuller, like they might burst, not from pain, but from gratitude too big to hold. Some whisper thank you. Some just cry quietly. Some can't do anything but stare, because words don't work anymore. Language feels too small, too human for something this eternal. And just as they draw near enough to feel the warmth radiating directly from him, warm enough to melt all last shadow inside them, warm enough to make eternity feel like a single heartbeat, the space ahead begins to open even wider.
Waiting for what comes next. Silence settles. Not empty silence, not awkward, but full, heavy with meaning, like the air right before rain touches the earth. Every soul stands still without being told to. No one speaks, no one moves, yet no one feels nervous. It's the calm you feel when you finally know you're safe, completely safe. The light around them steadies into a soft gold glow, like sunrise stretched across forever. It brushes against their skin like silk, warm, alive, comforting. If peace had a temperature, this would be it. Some people close their eyes just to feel it more deeply. Others look around slowly, afraid to miss even a single detail, because everything here feels important. Every color richer, every sound clearer. Even the space between breaths feels sacred. The rivers of light nearby continue flowing, but now they hum gently, like they're singing to themselves. Tiny sparks drift upward from the surface, rising like prayers. And when those sparks pass through someone, memories bloom. Not painful ones, beautiful ones. A mother suddenly remembers the first time her child laughed. A boy remembers his father teaching him how to ride a bike. An old man remembers kneeling beside his bed at night, whispering a small, shaky prayer. Moments they forgot, moments they thought didn't matter, yet here they shine brighter than anything, because those were the real treasures. Not money, not fame, not titles. Love, simple love. That's what lasted. That's what followed them here. A gentle wind moves through again, carrying a faint scent like fresh rain and wildflowers, the kind of smell that makes you feel like you're 8 years old again, running through an open field with nothing to worry about. People breathe it in deeply and laugh softly, like kids rediscovering joy. Their steps begin moving forward again, slow and natural, like they're being carried by an invisible current. No pushing, no effort, just drawn, closer to the center, closer to him. The glow around his presence grows stronger with every step they take. Not sharp, not blinding, just pure, like truth itself made visible. Angels bow their heads slightly as they pass, not worshiping the people, but honoring the journey they survived, honoring the faith they held on to when life got dark. One angel smiles at a woman who once cried herself to sleep for years. That smile alone heals something inside her she didn't even know was still broken. Another gently places a hand over a man's shoulder, and in that instant, decades of guilt disappear, like they never existed. No judgment here, no reminders of mistakes, only restoration, only grace. The ground beneath them begins to shimmer faintly, forming patterns of light that ripple outward with each step, almost like the kingdom is responding to their presence, recognizing them, welcoming them. Far ahead, shapes begin to form more clearly now. Not just light, not just structures, homes, gardens, paths lined with trees that glow softly at the edges, leaves like tiny lanterns, waterfalls flowing upward instead of down, everything alive, everything singing quietly with the same melody woven into the air. It doesn't feel foreign, it feels familiar, like a place they've seen in dreams their whole life but forgot when they woke up. A strange thought crosses many minds at once. I've been here before. Not physically, but spiritually, like their soul remembers this place, like this was always the real home, and earth was only the journey. A child runs ahead, laughing, arms stretched wide. No one stops him, because nothing here is dangerous, nothing here can hurt anyone ever again. His laughter echoes like bells, pure, untouched, and others start smiling just hearing it. That's how powerful joy is here, contagious, effortless. Then the music shifts again, deeper, richer, more voices joining, thousands, millions, not separate notes, but one giant harmony. And somehow everyone realizes they're part of it, their own voices blending into the sound without even trying. Breathing becomes music, movement becomes rhythm, existence itself becomes worship. Not forced, not commanded, just natural, like the only possible response to this much love. The presence ahead grows closer now, details becoming clearer, the outline of his form, the way the light bends gently around him, the way everything seems to lean toward him like flowers turning to the sun. Every step makes hearts feel fuller, like they might burst, not from pain, but from gratitude too big to hold. Some whisper thank you, some just cry quietly. Some can't do anything but stare, because words don't work anymore. Language feels too small, too human for something this eternal. And just as they draw near enough to feel the warmth radiating directly from him, warm enough to melt all last shadows inside them, warm enough to make eternity feel like a single heartbeat, the space ahead begins to open even wider.
Wider, like the horizon itself is stretching to make room for them. The light doesn't just shine now, it unfolds, layer after layer, as if reality is peeling back to reveal something deeper beneath it, something older than time, something that existed before the first star ever burned. Their steps slow naturally, not because they're tired, because every step feels sacred, intentional, like walking across holy ground. No one rushes anymore. There's nowhere else to be, no tomorrow to chase, no past to regret, only this endless now. The warmth from his presence spreads through the air like sunlight across water, and when it touches them, it feels personal, not general, not distant, personal, like being recognized, known completely. A man who always felt invisible his whole life suddenly feels seen, fully. Every hidden struggle, every silent sacrifice, every moment he chose kindness when no one noticed, all of it acknowledged without a single word. He exhales deeply, and something heavy leaves him forever, a weight he carried for decades, gone. A woman who lived with constant fear realizes something strange. She tries to remember what fear feels like. She can't. It's like trying to remember a language she forgot as a child. It simply doesn't exist here. Only trust, only safety, only belonging. Around them, the kingdom grows more vivid with every step. Trees made of crystal leaves sway gently, though there's no wind. Each leaf catches light and scatters tiny rainbows across the ground. The rivers glow brighter now, flowing in slow spirals like liquid stars drifting through valleys of gold. When the water touches the edges of the path, soft tones ring out, like piano keys being pressed. Music is everywhere. In the air, in the ground, in their very movement. It's like creation itself is alive and celebrating. Some kneel and touch the surface beneath them. It feels warm, not like stone, not like soil, but like something living, responsive. When their fingers brush it, gentle light spreads outward in circles, like ripples in a lake, as if the kingdom is saying, "I know you're here." Children run ahead again, laughing, their voices echoing like bells. They aren't warned, they aren't watched nervously, because nothing here can harm them. Nothing here breaks, nothing here ends. Two friends who hadn't seen each other in decades walk side by side, shoulders touching. No awkwardness, no catching up needed. They already understand everything about each other. It's like knowledge flows freely here, heart to heart, soul to soul. Words feel optional. Further ahead, the angels begin singing, soft at first, low harmonies that vibrate through the air. Their voices aren't loud, but they're deep, ancient, like the sound mountains would make if they could sing. The melody wraps around everyone, steady and strong,
like arms around a family, and people begin humming along without realizing it. Perfect pitch, perfect harmony, no practice, it just fits, like they were always meant to be part of this song. The closer they move toward him, the more everything brightens, but not painfully. Colors just grow richer, gold deeper, white warmer, blues softer. It's like the world is upgrading into something more real than reality ever was. A strange thought passes through many minds at once. So this is what life was supposed to feel like. Not surviving, not struggling, living, fully alive, fully free. Ahead, the light around him pulses gently, like a heartbeat. Every pulse sends waves through the crowd, and with each wave, understanding grows. They begin to remember things they never learned, truths placed directly into their spirit. Why certain prayers were delayed, why certain doors stayed closed, why certain losses happened. Not cruel, not random, protective, guiding, saving them from paths they couldn't see. Tears fall again, but these tears feel warm, grateful, the kind of tears that come when you finally understand a story you once thought was unfair. And suddenly, every hard moment on earth makes sense. Every struggle had purpose. Every pain shaped something eternal. Nothing was wasted, nothing forgotten. He steps forward again, just one step, but the entire kingdom responds. The ground brightens, the rivers glow stronger, the angels bow their heads, the music swells. Not forced, not commanded. It's like creation itself can't help but react to him, like gravity itself bends toward his presence. And as he looks over them, really looks, each person feels it hit them individually. That gaze, gentle, loving, unshakable. The kind of look that says, "I've been with you every second." Some cover their mouths, some fall to their knees, some just stand frozen, overwhelmed. Because being fully known like that, fully loved like that, is almost too much for the human heart to hold. Yet here, it doesn't hurt, it heals. The path ahead begins forming into something wider now, like a great open expanse, a gathering place, something vast waiting just beyond the glow. Not an end, not a destination, but the beginning of something even greater, something prepared long before they ever took their first breath on earth. And as the light continues to expand, and the music continues rising, and their steps carry them naturally forward without effort, the space before them slowly reveals more and more of what's waiting just beyond.
More and more of what's waiting just beyond. The glow softens, not fading, just becoming gentler, warmer, like sunset light resting on calm water. The vast expanse ahead slowly reveals itself, not a throne, not a palace, but something far more beautiful. A city, alive, breathing, endless towers of crystal and gold rising like mountains of light, windows shining like stars, pathways woven together like threads of silver, gardens stretching farther than sight, filled with colors no one has ever seen before, flowers that glow softly, trees whose leaves whisper music when they move, everything perfect, everything peaceful, and somehow it doesn't feel grand or intimidating. It feels familiar, like the place you dreamed about as a child but forgot when you grew up, like the home you always wished existed. And now it's real.
The gates fully open without a sound, no creaking, no force. They simply part, like they were waiting for this exact moment. A warm current flows outward from the entrance. Not wind, not air, something deeper. Love, pure love, so strong it almost feels physical. It wraps around every soul like an embrace, and for the first time ever, everyone feels completely understood. No masks, no pretending, no hiding, nothing to prove, nothing to fix, just accepted, exactly as they are. A child steps forward first, small hand reaching out, laughing softly. Then others follow, slowly, almost shyly, like stepping into water to test the temperature. But the moment their foot crosses the threshold, warmth rushes through them, stronger than anything before. Not heat, not light, belonging, deep, certain, unshakable. Some people gasp, some smile through tears, because they realize something simple. They're not visitors here. They're not guests. They belong here. They always did. This was their true home. Earth was just the journey. Behind them, the sky is still glowing softly. The world they left now distant, small, like an old chapter of a book already finished. No regret, no fear, just gratitude. Ahead, angels walk beside them now, not guiding anymore, just walking together, like friends, like family. The music turns softer, gentler, almost like a lullaby. Every note calm, every sound peaceful. The city welcomes them naturally, doors opening, lights brightening, paths unfolding. Some run ahead laughing, some walk slowly, taking everything in. Some stop and simply breathe, because even breathing feels beautiful. And then he steps forward one last time, closer than ever, close enough that they can feel the warmth of his presence like sunlight on their face. No overwhelming brightness now, just softness, kindness, eyes filled with endless love. He looks at them, not as a crowd, but one by one, like each person is the only one there. And in that look, every question disappears, every doubt, every why. Everything makes sense without needing answers. A quiet peace settles deep inside their souls, the kind of peace that says, "It's over now. You're safe. You're home." Some kneel, some cry, some smile, some just close their eyes and rest in that moment, because nothing else is needed anymore. No more running, no more fighting, no more pain. Only eternity, only light, only love. The gates slowly shine brighter behind them as the last of the golden glow spreads across the horizon. The music blends with laughter, with footsteps, with quiet whispers of joy. Life beginning again, not as survival, but as forever. And as they walk forward together, into the city, into the light, into the home that had been waiting for them since the beginning, the warmth surrounds everything, holding them gently, like a promise that will never break. And the kingdom glows softly, endlessly, peacefully.